Vintage 2000 simulators.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 8 of Fishing North Atlantic. Last episode we did a lot of upgrades on our ship here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and check out some other stuff. But I really appreciate that everybody has been enjoying this this playthrough so far, because I've been having a lot of fun with it, and it really, it makes me happy to know that other people are enjoying it as well. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. And also, if you're new, I think I fixed the playlist, so you should be able to go and see the whole series from beginning to end, because this is episode number 8. And if you're interested in seeing the whole thing, it's all there for you. Okay, so the last episode we came down here into the deep water area, but I think we've fished this a lot in the last couple episodes. So instead, what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over here to Seal Island. It's a little bit of a shorter trip, and we'll kind of like come around in this area and see what we can find. As far as like the date, it's April 23rd, 2020, and we have $57,000 left. But I wanted to take a look at the fish seasons, right? So we're kind of like getting to the end of April here, right? So next season is going to be May, which has mackerel. So mackerel would be in season starting May 1st, which could be like really, really good. Let's take a look. Mackerel, well, how do you catch mackerel? Can we do that with long line? Okay, so I took a look over here, and it says long lines can be used for fishing cod, pollock, haddock, redfish, and silver hake, which net fishing can be used for fishing cod, pollock, haddock, redfish, mackerel, and silver hake. And I think it's probably going to be like trawling. Or does it say what type of fish are in trawling? Anyway, we can't afford a trawler anyway, so no sense in looking at that. Okay, so let's make sure that I've got bait, which I'm pretty sure I do, but let's make sure that we do. So yeah, we have 10 krill baited long lines, which will be perfect. And then I think what we'll do right at the end of this fishing trip, because we'll probably end up with another 88,000 pounds of fish, or at least I hope we will. And if that is the case, then what I'll do is I'll use that money to go ahead and train the crew up a little bit. What I want to do is I want to get Graham here, like I want to get his long line hauling up to level 20, and then I want to get both Graham and Sadie, I want to get them both up to level 20 on the deep line fishing, because my goal is to make just a stupid amount of money in the tuna fish season, right? Because tuna sells for a ton, and I want to take advantage of that, and the best way I know how to do that is to have like a really skilled crew for that purpose. Speaking of skilled crew, I'm gonna go ahead and do the comment shout out here from the last episode, and I really appreciate all the comments that everybody leaves. As you have surely noticed, I heart and reply to every single one of them, and I will do that as long as this channel remains small enough for me to do so. I love every single one of your comments. Thank you so much for that. But here's today's comment shout out. All right, today's comment shout out comes from Play Junkie, who says the playlist is in order. Ooh, I'm so glad. Good job, and thank you for taking your time to make this video. Just a little tip: if you want to skip a lot of time to get a fish in season, you can do it in dock in the top tab, just letting you know, because I've seen other YouTubers forget to do this and they've sunk their boat. Hope this helps. P.S. Please shout me out. Thank you very much for your comment. Yes, I do know about that trick, or not really trick, but I know about that feature, and I plan on using it when it's needed. So thank you very much for that, Play Junkie. It is a very good tip, and I wanted to highlight that for this playthrough. All right, thank you so much, Editor Drake, for that comment shout out, and thank you so much for that comment. Like I said before, it goes a really long way in encouraging me to make these videos. And since the Fishing North Atlantic videos continue to get like close to 300 views on average, like I'm excited. I think that's phenomenal. And since we're in the area, let's go ahead and get Sadie out here and getting this this line ready. But yeah, no, I'm really glad that people are enjoying this. I want to check out their next game, which is like Ships at Sea or something like that. But I've been hesitant to do so because it's still in early access, and they're still building the game, and I don't know. I'm kind of like disillusioned on early access games lately. So we're gonna go ahead and wait on picking that one up until it's a little bit further in development. So there is redfish in this area, but there doesn't seem to be like a lot. That being said, like Ships at Sea, I think is their other game. I can check here real quick. Yeah, Ships at Sea is what their other game is. Like, it does look like a good game. You can do like various like cargo missions and stuff like that, but I don't know. It feels a little bit undercooked right now, and so I'm waiting for that to come along. Speaking of, I don't think we're gonna fish in this area, but I will come in and unlock this thing. So let's go do that. We might just go back out to the deep sea again and just, you know, go like, oh, just kidding. What is it? Is it C? Yeah, it's C and X. Okay. By the way, so we have the bow thrusters down here now. And we just unlocked the Toby. We're probably not going to use it because it's this little boat right here. And not likely to use it. Yeah, so I don't really see a heck of a lot of redfish in this area. So before we head down there, we did find redfish up here. I don't know if I want to go all the way over there though. Yeah, I'm not excited about fishing the deep sea like that again, because we've done it multiple trips now, and I don't want to deplete it so much that it's no longer a viable fishing spot. So in all fairness though, we don't have turned on the so there's a feature in the game that allows you to actually make a fish population extinct in your game, and I do not have that turned on. But that being said, the fish don't really replenish that often on their own. So like you kind of got to wait between seasons and stuff like that. So you can, even with that feature off, you can overfish an area and then run into issues and stuff like that. And I don't want to do that. Instead, I want to find all of the redfish. We got a whale somewhere over here. Okay, I'm looking out for any seagulls in the area over here. But I'm not quite, I don't see any right now. We do have like a fog in the area, which is kind of interesting. There's several redfish in the area. So there's 4 redfish in a 250 meter radius there. That's enough. I'm gonna go ahead and lay out this line, and I'll bring you guys back after we've laid out all of our lines. I'm probably gonna lay out 3 lines and we'll go from there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've decided to go ahead and lay out 4 lines. Originally, I was only gonna do 3, but I chose to do 4 because the original set that I was laying out, like here at 1 and 2, these 2 areas did not have that much fish in the area, right? And so I went ahead and did a little fast forward there. I went ahead and got some additional, oh my gosh, I can talk. I went ahead and got some additional line laid out because I wasn't confident in this area to provide a lot of fish. Of course, now there's a lot of fish in the area right now. I don't know. Never mind. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so we got 2.5 hours on there. We need like 19 hours in order for that to do that. So we need like 17-hour rest, I think. Ooh, it's daytime. That's good. Yes. Okay, so then so we could put Graham on there. Long line hauling of 18. You know what? I'm gonna do it myself, because I should be able to get some better results than he can, because on average he's gonna get like okays and normals and stuff like that, right? Or okay and good, even some like mediocre or whatever. Like, he's not gonna do that well at 11. He's not gonna do bad, don't get me wrong, he wouldn't do bad, but I can more consistently get more perfects than he can at the moment at his current skill. So we're gonna go ahead and, as is tradition here on the D2K Simulators channel, we're gonna do the first line together, and then from there I'll go ahead and put in a cut and do the rest myself. All right, decent number. Let's do this. 6. Okay, I said I was gonna get more perfects, but 6 isn't bad. Oh, come on, that was so close to perfect. And there we go. I just need to stop talking when I'm doing it. Yeah, there we go. 2 perfect. 6 fish. You see, this is what I was concerned about earlier too, was that there wasn't going to be a heck of a lot of fish on these lines. And yeah, so that's like 12,000, which is not perfect. It's not great. But yeah, okay, I'll bring you back after we go ahead and pick up the rest of the lines. The next line is green at 18 hours. It just needs like a half an hour of time. So yeah, I'll put in a cut here and I will bring you back for the rest, for the last of the stream. Hopefully we can get a full cargo hold out of these lines. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there's only 3 fish on the end of this 4th line. So we didn't quite end up where I wanted to be with all of this. I definitely wanted to be a lot higher than 55,000. So I think what I might end up doing is laying out another line and going from there. I wonder if I can do that myself. Let's see here. Oh, I want to grab the baited. There we go. And then prepare. There we go. Okay, and then I should be able to set it. So yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll lay out a 5th line and go from there. I think we're kind of done fishing in this area for at least the rest of April, because we're running into that situation that I was talking about where we've kind of overfished this area. Even though there's like, it looks like there's a bunch of fish on the sonar, when you zoom in, there's this break, right? So there's this wide area of space that doesn't have any fish in it. But I'm not gonna last, you know, I won't stay longer than the one lay of the line, and editor Drake will look in and see about zooming in on, I think there was a whale that came up over here. I was busy looking down here at the sonar. Yeah, there's the whale tail right there. But yeah, anyway, I'll bring you back after I've laid out this line and we continue to gut the 20,000 pounds of fish that are in there. Oh, and during the transition, actually, Graham leveled up. So now he's level 2, so he's got 2 points of stamina now instead of just the 1. So that's a good thing. But yeah, I'll bring you back here in just a bit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's the moment of truth. This is our 5th line that we laid out to, let's see if we got any fish. It looks like 4 fish, 5 maybe. 5, okay. Well, so this fishing trip was not that great, but we'll have to pick out a new area to find some redfish. I think I have like an idea of where to go for the next one, because this is not gonna be lucrative for us anymore, so we're gonna have to find some fresh areas. So, well, I got a couple perfects, so not bad. Like 10,000 pounds of fish. We're up to 66,271 pounds of fish for this trip. So we'll go ahead and get our guys to go ahead and continue to gut all of that fish, and we'll head back to Lockport in about 11 hours. So the engine upgrade that we did shaves 3 hours off of our time, which is pretty good. And they got all of it done. So we have fish on board, $214,000, even though we didn't have a full hold, is pretty good. So yeah, we'll go ahead and sell that catch, and that gets us a little bit more reputation in this town. And crew management, let's see here, train crew, and I want to train Graham into long line hauling, so he's now a lot better at that. And then let's do I think for Sadie, I want to do machine gun. How much is that? 145. Not too happy about that. What about our cooking skill? We could level 145 for that. I think we might end up saving that money, because we're gonna want deep line here soon too, right? So yeah, we'll just save that money and we'll do training again later. But now we got Graham leveled up, so that's going to be really good. Because now that Graham is, high enough level to, like, reliably pull in these long lines, the good thing about that is really going to come into play in the fact that, he'll be able to do perfects consistently. So whatever number of fish that we have on the line, they'll all be good now that Graham is leveled up enough for that. And of course, the downside to that is that they take a higher cut once they are more, higher level and such. But the amount of money that you start earning with like a max level crew is so high that their cut is almost negligible. Like you're not going to really see it, and that's one of the things that I really enjoy about this game. But it's also something that like tycoon and business games tend to suffer from, right? I tend to find that I've said tend a lot, but there tends to be a point in a business game where you're kind of like, in the beginning you kind of struggle for a while, like we did in this series with the lobster fishing, and then there comes a point where you just start making money hand over fist. We're not quite to the making money hand over fist stage yet, but we're in the comfortable range of we can earn $200,000 per trip phase of the game. So we're not far off from it. I think what we're gonna do is we'll come over to here. So maybe we go to Cape Forchie Lighthouse and then we sail south. I'll bring you back when I find some redfish. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it took me a while to find some fish, but we're right off of Dennis Point here, going after pollock this time instead of redfish. I spent a good long time looking for some redfish, but I didn't really find any. This first line is krill, so I'm not expecting good results on this line, but we'll see here in just a moment exactly what we ended up with. Yeah, so he should get like pretty good results. Oh, why is he using that hook though? Yeah, so he got a perfect there. Because you can hear from like the sound effect, right? Like that sound right there is the perfect sound effect. So but yeah, so we're gonna go over here to line number 2 and then 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I laid out 6 total lines. And again, this line that Graham is doing right now is with krill, and pollock is not exactly excited for krill. They kind of look at it and they're like, meh, I've had better. So honestly, 14,679 pounds of fish is not that bad, considering that pollock don't like krill. Now, the nice thing about one of the reasons why I started fishing here is because, so in this game, when you're fishing like surface fish and stuff like that, you want to look out for the seagulls. I don't know if it works on like bottom feeders like lobsters and crab and stuff like that, but at least for surface fish, when there's seagulls in the area, that means there's a lot of fish in the area. So it is definitely, it behooves you to go fishing in that area. But anyway, we're gonna continue to get some of these fish, and I'll bring you back as soon as we're done with that. Ooh, Nelly. All right, so line number 4 ended up being 38,745 pounds of fish. That was completely unexpected. Came out of the blue there. That is a lot of fish. So I've now moved both of our workers over here to start machine gutting. The problem is that Graham is pretty exhausted, so he's gonna be heading back down into the crew quarters here before long. But I'm hoping he can help knock down some of that 61,000 pounds of fish, which also means that I'm gonna have to come and pick up these other lines. And I think what I'm gonna do is, since it doesn't matter, because all of the fish that we're gonna pick up on line 5 and line 6 is gonna go to waste, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get Sadie some experience hauling in the line. So that's exactly what we're gonna do here on lines 5 and 6. That way she gets some XP on that whole shenanigan right there, right? But yeah, so I'll bring you back after we head back to port. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check the prices of pollock, because our hold should be mostly pollock. Let's see here. Oh, so our gutting, like we have a few 3 stars, some 4 stars, mostly 5 stars. Yeah, and then we have 643 pounds of redfish, and then the rest of it seems like it's pollock. So yeah, pretty good. But I'll bring you back after these messages. Okay, I want to draw attention to this. We just had to throw away 57,000 pounds of fish just now. That's really unfortunate. I kind of wish that I had known about these lines earlier, and then that way we wouldn't have wasted so much bait or so many fish. But That's okay. That's part of the game, I guess. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and get ourselves this last screen over here. Let's check our lights because our searchlight doesn't seem to be working right meow. Okay, so let's find this last screen. It should be like right in front of us, but it's so dark. This is the one thing okay, so there it is. I found it. But this is one thing I don't really like about this game. Like, for example, I have the most upgraded buoys, which include a light on it, right? But tell me, do you see a light right over here? I sure don't. Like, even if I turn off my searchlight, right? You don't really see the buoy. You barely see that light. I would imagine that light would be a lot brighter in these conditions, but you know, that's just the Navy sailor in me. So another thing that I want to draw your attention to as of this part of the recording, right, is the fact that as of right now, the recording time is 1 hour and 47 minutes and 32 seconds as of right now. Which, through the magic of editing, you guys don't have to experience that. But I wanted to point that out because I wanted to show you kind of like what you can expect when you're out here doing this on your own, right? So these fishing trips are not short trips, and that's just something for you to keep in mind. Go ahead and throw your favorite Drakeage 2000 D2K simulators video up on your second monitor while you're out here fishing yourself. So yeah, we just lost another 14,000 pounds of fish there. But you know, that's okay. All right, well, it is definitely time for us to head back. I'm gonna put Graham back here, and we're gonna get him a meal. And I need to figure out where we're gonna sell the pollock, which I believe was in Ingalls Hall, which is Ingalls Head, which is $2.13 a pound. And that kind of looks like it is. Yeah, so we're going to Ingalls Head, which Ingalls Head I think is where we've been for a while. No, that's Lockport. Ingalls Head then is up here, isn't it? Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's far. Bam, 14 nautical miles, and it's gonna be like, well, Sadie's exhausted. And I'm gonna be like, oh, okay. Well, Graham though should be good to go. To come back out here and start doing some fishies. So I'm gonna go ahead and feed Sadie a meal. And get her some much needed stamina, but I don't think it's going to come into play. I think Graham will be able to gut the rest of these fish. Let's take a look at our storage and look at our gutting. Yeah, we got a couple 2 stars, a couple 3 stars, mostly 4 and 5 stars, which I think is kind of interesting that that we get a variety with the machine gut. I would think we would get consistency with the machine gut, but I guess not. Okay, well, Graham is done, so that means it is time for us to go ahead and dock and sell our fish for $287,779.65 after our crew takes a cut of 11,678. So in actuality, we got about 300,000. When you add these two numbers together, it's close enough to 300,000. So bam, yes, we will definitely sell that. We have 371,000 in the bank, but let's go ahead and do our maintenance. So we'll purchase our fuel, we'll repair, and I want to do fishing gear, and I want to bait. So I have 6 unbaited, so I want to do 1 bait with krill, right? Big to target redfish, and then I want to do the 5 unbaited with the crab to go after pollock. And then that way I have 2 sets of fishing gear on board that will be pretty good. I don't want the bank. I wanted the shipyard. Let's take a look and see what's for sale here. So there's the Knots Guilty for 1 million, and the Double Trouble. Double Trouble can do long line, net, crabbing, and deep line. And a very small storage size though. I've done the Emery before. Look at that, 275,000 pounds of storage space, and then it's got long line, net, crabbing, and deep line. But the downside is don't use this boat for crabbing, because it will only be able to do the single pots. You won't be able to do streamed pots. Whereas like the Knots Guilty, since it's got this open bay here in the back, you'll be able to do that, the whatchamacallit, grouped up streams, which is pretty nice. But maybe we save up for the Emery though. I don't know. I will play that by ear. But first, the last thing that I want to do is train our crew. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to train Sadie up on her machine gut. We'll get her max level on that. And I think we'll get Graham max level on that as well, since we still have money. So there we go. Okay, so Graham and Sadie have max level machine gut. And then the next thing that I'm going to do, we're going to start getting them the level up their deep line, right? Because that's where we're headed. So we will work on that for the next one. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Fishing North Atlantic, and I hope you have a wonderful day. As of the end of this recording here, we are at 2 hours of recording time. So that is going to take me a lot to cut that down to about a half an hour. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe buttons, and ring that notification bell so that you will be notified when the next episode goes live. These episodes should be going live again on Sundays. This week was changed up a little bit because of that new game, Schedule 1. But anyway, we'll be back to regular schedule this upcoming week. The next episode, episode 9, should be out on Sunday. Have a lovely day. I'll see you next time. Thank you for making it to the end of that video. I really appreciate you watching it to the whole thing. You're an awesome possum. Don't forget to go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe, as that goes an extremely long way in helping this small channel grow. I appreciate you watching that video, and I'll see you in the next one.